sponsor,
Ah.
Manscaped.
Uh-huh.
Have you tried the new equipment that's been sent?
I'm afraid because it says weed whacker. I'm scared.
Maven, Manscaped. What are you thinking about
Love it.
Manscaped, dude?
Love it.
What do you use it for?
Necessity. What don't I use it for? Put it this way. The only hair I have on my entire body is these eyebrows.
Yeah.
That you see. These
Wow.
caterpillars racing to the middle of my nose. That's it.
That is it.
That's all I have. And that's all I want.
That's the
So
pick.
Manscaped is a must.
We were talking before the show. There's nothing worse than just hair.
Yeah.
Right? Hair on a woman, hair on a man. It's just bad.
Absolutely. And it's the one thing that the older I get, it starts growing more in unwanted areas.
Absolutely.
I hate it.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
Just going to go out there.
Oh, boy.
Go for it.
You're doing a deed.
Yes.
Again, I don't want you to have to admit this because we, as men, we try not to admit this. But if you're going to
Oh,
go
I
do
know
the deed
where-
on a
I
woman,
know where
would you
he's
rather
going.
have her be hairless or a little hair, racing stripe, or
Racing stripe.
full retro bush?
Racing
Well,
stripe.
Retro Bush is out.
Yes, thank you.
Retro Bush is out.
Yeah.
I don't mind a small, well manicured landing strip. Every now and then, if it's completely, and I'm talking like baby's ass bald, then I start. Where is that pedophilia line? I don't want to
Wow.
wander into that.
That's
thought
very
of it like
interesting.
that.
I never thought about that. You're a
Wow.
smart dude. Holy shit.
So if the landing strip is clean enough for the plane to go in smoothly, you're cool with that?
If the landing strip has, like I said, well manicured,
Yeah,
you can see both sides. It's not
Like blinking lights on both sides of that
I
landing?
just don't. I don't want. I don't want the shrubbery going off into unwanted areas on that as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Oh, look
but-
what you found. Ooh.
I got to be all honest though. Hey, the older I get though, I don't think I can be as
I found it! I found
have
it!
you ever gone down there and she slowly brings down the underwear? Then
What is
retro? Just,
Absolutely.
You're like, whoa.
Wow,
Yeah, I'm
like
46.
it pops
of
out?
course.
Do you like walk out or what do you do?
No, I muster through. I muster up the courage to get
He's a
through.
trooper. He's a trooper. Gotta give him an A.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah,
There you go.
I hear you.
There you
Listen,
go.
I couldn't
Super
say.
Bush.
I couldn't say. Well, if you have the same beliefs as Maven, does Manscaped could help you?
Absolutely.
The weed whacker.
Absolutely.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I may have to, go in a room, close the door, and hang out with the weed whacker for a little while.
Yeah, I think you're a retro guy, aren't you?
I like 70s adult films, if that's what you're getting at.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
But
only
with that,
Ron
we're going to take a
Jeremy,
quick
Batman.
commercial break, and we'll be
Anyway.
back with this wrestling icon, Maven.
We will see you in a drop kick second.
Drop kick.
Hey, everybody. After show found here only on the Monty and the Pharaoh channels. How's everybody's week going? Great to see you here again. And first thing I have to do, as always, is send a quick thanks out to Mike Monty and Jimmy Pharaoh and thank them for letting me have this show on their network. As always, you can find Monty and the Pharaoh every Thursday night at 9 p.m. on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Also on the Intuitive app. You can also find them on all your favorite streaming services and the podcast version on Spotify, iTunes, Reverb Nation, Podbean. You name it, they're on those streaming services. You know what? Wherever you can find them, chances are you could find me and the after show. What does everybody think of my background here today? My little bit of a drunk bartender? He was supposed to be animated, but I kind of ran out of time. I was going to have him interact with me, but it was a little hard. There's this thing called an NDI server that you need from Character Animator in order for it to work live in this OBS broadcasting software. It's taking me a little bit of time to get through some of these kinks, but eventually you're going to see hopefully some pretty cool stuff coming on this channel between our show and the real show, the Monty and the Pharaoh show on the network. We also have some other cool stuff coming up. We're going to be streaming live on the Monty and the Pharaoh channel, playing video games of the past. And then we're also going to have some really cool interviews with some cool guests. And hey, check it out. I've got my first guest. Sorry, Mike. But guess what? Third segment, I've got the sleepy guy. I can't wait for that. Hey, you know what we're in. Let's see. What do we have? So yeah, Character Animator is this interesting program. That's what I'm going to use to animate this guy up here. And it should be a lot of fun. And that'll be allow me to introduce characters and other things into the live show. You'll see when we get there. But for now, you can find me streaming on ESO Creatives Twitch channel, just trying to get some kinks out of the live streams that I'm going to be doing on the Monty and the Pharaoh channels live Twitch thing when I go into the history of wrestling video games from the past, which is it's coming up sooner than later. So can't wait to get that going. And while we're on that subject, in the past week, I've been playing this really, really cool game. I haven't played a wrestling video. I don't really play video games that much anymore, let alone a wrestling video game. But when I was thinking about going through this history of wrestling video games in the past, I wanted to delve into what the modern product was and see a little bit about it. Wow, this thing is freaking amazing. You have this thing called My Rise, which you go through the career of an up-and-coming WWE superstar, and then the GM mode. I remember playing GM modes in other games like NBA 2K, stuff like that, and generally they are a little bit stale. But I have to say, this GM mode, it's pretty cool. I got through a couple years of it and definitely enjoying it. When I start streaming, I'm definitely gonna bring this game into it, and we're gonna talk about it a little bit more. But I don't want to delve too deep into that. What did everybody think of the Night of Champions? I have to say, overall, it was pretty predictable. I don't think it was a bad match overall on the card, but it wasn't anything that I jumped up and said woohoo about. Let's start with the Seth Rollins AJ match. Awesome match. We knew Seth was going to win. ESO predicted the next one, which was the Asuka Bianca match, and also predicted that Brock Lesnar wasn't going to lose again to Cody Rhodes. It was pretty cool the way they did that. I think it prolongs a feud for when Brock comes back, probably at SummerSlam. And you know what? Asuka is going to be a fun champion to watch also. And of course, we had the continuation of the Bloodline. The Bloodline has been probably the best storyline in the past 20 years in wrestling, and I'm glad that it's continuing on. However, as great as that Bloodline angle is, we need to have some secondary angles that can build up these next level stars and get them really going, because the secondary angles really always feel put together right. Come on, WWE, let's step up the game. It definitely can be done. Let's get that Intercontinental title on that same level and get that new World Championship on that same level as that Universal and WWE title that is unified on Roman Reigns' shoulders. One thing that confused me, and they fixed it later on whatever that Raw after show is, but they had AJ Styles come out on Raw this week. AJ had just been drafted to SmackDown, and already we're forgetting that the draft existed. We have so many other superstars that are not getting the chance on the brand that they're on, yet we're going to bring somebody from the other brand over and put him over on the show. A little bit of lazy booking, WWE, sorry, but not sorry. Shouldn't have been done. He could have waited to come out till Friday. No need to do that. It was just lazy booking on your part. But as everybody knows, earlier this month, I had the opportunity to have dinner with Marty Jannetty, Eugene, Tommy Rich, Manny Fernandez, Monty and the Pharaoh. And I have to thank everybody that was there, but especially to two people, Marty Jannetty and Eugene. You guys both sent me pictures of you wearing the Cinco de Mayo shirts. Thank you guys. They look awesome, and I can't wait. They're going to be in the entrance video when I get my entrance video for the show done. You guys are going to be in it, and I really appreciate that. And thank you for reaching out to me. Marty, I never thought I'd be friends with you, but it's pretty cool that I went from marking out as a little kid watching you in the AWA to actually considering you a friend now. And, it was pretty funny that the person who broke the news that superstar Billy Graham had passed away to me was Marty Jannetty. Never thought that would happen. It was just kind of a surreal thing. But anyway, listen, let's get going. We got a couple of other segments to get into today. We've got a WWF magazine from June 1989 featuring the results and some pictures from the WWF WrestleMania 5. We will be right back.
Elm Logistics, for all your logistic needs. Call 631-299-3595. That's 631-299-3595. Elm Global Logistics. Pride, performance, and partnerships. The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
This segment, we go down history lane and we visit WWF magazine from the past. This is from June 1989. This is featuring the results from WrestleMania 5. First of all, let's check out this cover. Let's see, we've got Hulk Hogan holding the title over Elizabeth and Randy Savage, Rick Rude, Ultimate Warrior, Powers of Pain, Jake the Snake Roberts, Andre the Giant, the Bushwhackers, Jim Duggan, Brutus Beefcake, and Ted DiBiase all on the cover. Of course, the main article is WrestleMania 5, all the results and explosive pictures. Then we have an exclusive interview with the Rockers. We have No Holds Barred, the film featuring Hulk Hogan. We have King Hacksaw. Duggan wants the crown from Haku. Then we have Brutus the Barber Beefcake setting to shear Randy Savage's hair. Yeah, that's not happening. The table of contents obviously goes through pretty much what we just went through on the other page and has a couple of other articles in there. There's one about the Brain Busters, and there's also one that's about Jim Duggan and the Barbarian. I'm going to go over those briefly in a few minutes. The first thing you do is find an article on WrestleMania 5. The mega powers have exploded. What a time to be a wrestling fan. That was an awesome, awesome angle. I was, at that point, rooting for both these guys. I loved Randy Savage and I loved Hogan. Next thing we have an personality profiling the soon-to-be model Rick Martel. This is right after he and Tito Santana broke up at WrestleMania 5. Rick Martel left Tito in the ring, and now Rick Martel is saying, I don't care who I face and when I face them. And pretty soon he's going to come out with the arrogance as the model. That's coming really, really soon. Next article is an interview with the Rockers, Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels. They go over the tag team division and who they're going to face and what they're going to do. Next article is the feature article of the magazine. This one features the results of WrestleMania. And the results of WrestleMania were, of course, Hulk Hogan defeated Randy Savage for that title. That the Ultimate Warrior ended up taking soon after at WrestleMania 6 and losing there soon thereafter. So let's talk about that WrestleMania. You had Hulk Hogan defeating Randy Savage. You had Rick Rude defeating the Ultimate Warrior for the Intercontinental title. You had Demolition going over the Powers of Pain. You had Strike Force losing to the Brain Busters. You had Jake the Snake Roberts going over Andre the Giant via DQ with John Studd as the special guest referee. And then you had Akeem and the Big Boss Men, the Twin Towers, going against Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels, the Rockers, and the little guys got squashed. So next thing we go into, as every month, every week, we talk about that catalog and all the cool shirts that they have available. And this month was no different. This month, the new shirts were Powers of Pain. We had a tank top for the Ultimate Warrior. We had a Brutus the Barber Beefcake shirt, Demolition, and Jesse the Body Ventura's shirt. Wow. That's one of the last shirts Jesse had because soon after he was out of the WWF. Next article I mentioned earlier, this one is about Jim Neidhart feuding with the Barbarian. This is a 100% filler article. Really has no business being in there, but it is a cool looking article, but really means nothing. Next article is No Holds Barred. It's a preview of Hulk Hogan's horrible, horrible movie featuring him and Tiny Lister as Zeus, and what ended up being a SummerSlam feud. And I don't know which was worse. Was the movie worse or was the match at SummerSlam worse? I'll leave that up to you guys to decide, but both were horrible. Next article is about Hacksaw Jim Duggan chasing King Haku's crown. And guess what? Soon after this, he gets it. Oh, yeah, yep. Next article, another filler article. This one is about the Brain Busters, Tully and Arn wanting to go to feud with the Bushwhackers. Why would anyone want to feud with the Bushwhackers? They'd actually already faced each other back in the NWA days, but now, hey, it was a new area with the WWF, and it was an okay feud. I don't think it lasted that long. Next thing we had was the Wrestler's Rebuttal of the Month. This one was featured on the front cover, which doesn't usually happen. And this is why Randy Macho Man Savage needs a haircut by Brutus the Barber Beefcake. And we've seen Randy Savage's hair. Yeah, he probably could have used a haircut, but guess what? Brutus Beefcake wasn't going to give it to him. His rebuttals were Randy Savage says, Beefcake, you say you want to cut my hair? Well, just come around and you'll get more of what's coming to you. Sensational Sherry, Macho Man Randy Savage is gorgeous as is. He's the biggest hunk around. Big John Studd. Brutus's make the Macho Man clean up his act. Just like I'm going to show Andre who the real giant is. That was always a weird feud with John Studd as the face and Andre as the heel. It just never really worked the same. Bret the Hitman Hart said, the Hitman agrees it'd be fine to see Brutus go to work on Savage's ugly head. It was kind of weird at that point because Hitman was still kind of a relatively new face, but hey, that was what was going on. Last article of this magazine, as always, is the Caught in the Act, and this one featured Bobby the Brain Heenan standing next to a character of George Jetson. How cool is that? Well, we're going to go take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to have a quick interview with the Sleepy Guy. I can't believe this guy's coming on the air with us. I can't wait. Well, we'll be right back.
Hi, it's John from Under the Table Hot Sauce. I'm here with my friend, the star of the show, Jimmy Farrow.
Yeah, what's up, JB?
Nah, nothing.
It's been a hot summer, and for all your barbecue needs, you can go to underthetablehotsauce.com. 13 unique flavors to choose from, created and bottled in a Long Island kitchen. Underthetablehotsauce.com. Let's go chow, JB.
Let's do it.
All the flavor, twice the burn.
Jimmy, I gotta take a dump.
What?
No, I mean I need a dumpster.
Well, for all those needs, you need to call Big V Dumpster Rental, Long Island, New York, 631-900-DUMP.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the After Show, found here only on. Well, Mike, I'm sorry. I know I promised you were going to be my first guest on the network, but when the opportunity to interview this guy came up, I had to jump on it. And without further ado, let me bring on the one and only Sleepy Guy. Wow, Sleepy Guy, it's great to have you here. Everybody's wanted to get the interview with you, and I managed to get you first. I thank you for being here. So let me ask you, what's your favorite thing to do when you're not sleeping? Wow, so interesting. Wow. So I heard that you were recently on the Monty and the Pharaoh channel behind Maven, and you decided to take a nap, and that's what led you to become this world famous sleep expert that you are. Wow. It's great to hear that. It's great to hear that. So I hear this has led to you having your own shirt put out. Well, can you tell me where that shirt might be available? Ooh, hey, you got a little bit of drool on your face there. You might want to wipe that off. While you're doing that, I'll tell everybody. Hey, listen, everybody, you can get the Sleepy Guy shirt. It's available on the Monty and the Pharaoh channel in their shop. And I know that there's a bunch of them that have gone out already. I have one. Mike has one. Jimmy has one. Phil has one. And they're going fast. So, go to the Monty and the Pharaoh shop and get one for yourself. And, well, it looks like Sleepy Guy is kind of falling on the floor. So I don't think we're going to go any further with this interview. So let me say thank you, Sleepy Guy, for being here. And can't wait to have you on again. And hope you're doing well with those shirts. And it's honor to meet you. Well, that's about all the time we have today. And so I'm going to wrap it up. And of course, send thanks out to Mike and Jimmy. Thank you for letting me do this. Thank you guys for coming on and watching. Keep an eye out for all the upcoming projects that we have going on. And until next time, later.